I was sitting here recording a little monologue for you guys, and we got about a minute or so into it. Then suddenly there's this knock at the door, and the knock at the door is the knock of dread. You go, oh, is that the postman? Oh, no, wait a minute. I'll just have a quick check. And guess what? Yes, it was the old enforcement agent ready to do battle with me. And I peered out. I could see him. I don't think that he could see me through the net curtains that we've got. But he looked like he was all ready for business, you know, because they don't seem to have any heart or anything. I interviewed a bloke yesterday on the channel, and it'll be coming up in a few days, in which he said that we need to have more love in the world. We need to be able to communicate our feelings and say, please don't be so nasty to me. And although I understand what he's getting at, and you'll be able to see the whole interview very soon, I did put to him, I'm not sure that these people who've been trained basically to have no heart whatsoever, to be dehumanised and just simply try and extort money from you, whether they would actually listen to any of that and go, oh, do you know what? Yeah, you do seem like a vulnerable person all on your own or whatever. I don't think they seem to have any of that, so I'm not sure it would work with them, although it is an interesting point. But the thing that I was actually going to talk about, and we waited now and the bloke's gone, he's posted his thing through the door and that seems to be it. And it does seem that he can't break the door down and come in and beat you up and try and extract the money from you in a sort of frightened way that perhaps they would have done in the Middle Ages when it was about fight with the old sword and clubs. But it does still put a bit of a, you know, thing in your stomach, and you think, blimey, well, you've got to laugh at these things. You've got to laugh and you've got to rise above it. But I did actually wake up in a bit of a grumpy mood. Maybe I could foresee that this bloke was going to come today, or there was going to be something that would spit on the old fireworks, as it were. And I was thinking about the last 100 years, that we've lived through. Really and truly, it's been a waste of bloody time, hasn't it? It's been a complete and utter disaster. If you could just take away those last 100 years, 2 world wars, nuclear threat, and then, of course, the recent pandemic. But more than that, how we've become so stupid, all of us. We've become so reliant on them, on other people. And I've said this before in my videos, in which we've sort of just taken the easy route to everything. We've taken convenience. We've allowed ourselves to be programmed by television, and we've been dumbed down. Our education system has made us very good slaves, thanks very much. We've just acquiesced to whatever the government does. We've lost that sense of what democracy is supposed to be, in which we, the people, make up the rules and tell the people that we want to run the place to go and do it. But in fact, we just carry on voting in bunches of snake oil salesmen. We pay them lots of money out of our taxes and allow them to send that money to places where men, women and children, innocent men, women and children, can be slaughtered in other parts of the world. It does seem a little bit mad that we've just become so dumb that we can't do anything about it. We're satisfied with highly processed foods. We're just happy to line up at certain jab stations and allow a certain medical intervention to be injected into us, and we've not really given any of it any thought at all about what efficacy this thing has, or whether the tests have been done, especially with pregnant women. And as I said in yesterday's monologue, I was talking to somebody who said we're in a time in which you go to the maternity ward and more babies now are being born dead than ever before, and in some cases more dead births are happening than live births in a maternity ward. And as far as I understand, that's never happened before, apart from when we're in perhaps, you know, real crisis or something. We've just allowed this to happen. And also the technologies, you know, think back to the 1930s, in which it's some incredible technologies that seem to have been occulted. The patents have been bought up. Nobody's been allowed to do it. They've been hushed up, quietened. And anybody who's got alternative, say, health ideas have either been bumped off or paid off or silenced. Same with free energy. Those people who've discovered incredible technologies that means we're not reliant on the big corporations for all our things, they've also been bumped off or quietened up or paid off in some fashion. And here we are 100 years later, the dumbest that we've ever been. We're acquiescing to the powers that want to take our freedoms away. We continually agree in these emergencies. Oh yes, no, you can do this to us and you can do that to us. And these agreements, they never come back. These freedoms that we allow to disappear, they never come back. What has happened to us? We are unable to stand up on our own 2 feet. And then we've allowed these weird ideas to filter through the universities and into popular conversation and acceptance. People who think that they are of a different gender, or that there are 101 different genders, or these woke agendas that seem to be prevalent, that have been normalized to sort of go, oh yeah, that's the normal thing. And yet for hundreds of thousands of years, we've known that who we are and what we are. And yet we've just dumbed ourselves to the point where we're happy to breathe in poisoned air and we have no outrage. We're happy to drink poisoned water and there's no outrage. We're happy to eat poisoned food and again there's no outrage. We're happy that that pollutants are all over the place. We kind of ignore the fact that the whole planet is awash with toxins. We believe that the medical institutions are there to help us with their white pills that contain all sorts of side effects that actually damage our health. We've ignored so much that has been beneficial. And anybody who raises his head and says, oh, what about this direction? What about doing this? Oh, no, you're an idiot. Of course, we're just happy to go to work 9 to 5 and have stress put upon us. I mean, we are weird creatures. And now look at us here, cowering in our houses if we don't manage to pay certain bills, because those people in charge of us have no humanity, that no matter how much time, oh, please, will you love us a bit more? No, pay your bill or we'll just evict you from your house. We'll steal your possessions. And it's all for business. It seems to be okay, because it's just business. It's not personal. It's just business. It's just commerce. We're human beings. We're human beings. We shouldn't be operating for just business. It's all right, it's not personal. What are we here on this planet for, if not to thrive, if not to be with our fellow man and woman, to laugh and enjoy life, to breathe fresh air, to eat wholesome food, to sort of develop ideas, to watch the sun rise, instead of sitting in a car in a poisoned atmosphere with plastics off-gassing us in a traffic jam, trying desperately to get to work, where our line manager is going to chastise us if we're a bit late, and we're going to have pressure on to make more money and more money. For people, it's not even us that gets the money. How often does your salary increase when you've increased the profit of the business? Not very often, I wouldn't have thought. We're just stupid going along with this. We've got to break this mould. I feel. You may disagree with me, and of course you're entitled to disagree with me. Maybe all the trinkets that shine and you collect as a magpie, and you earn all that money so you can go and buy these sort of things that are supposed to be there to make you happy. Maybe that's what you are happy with, but not me. And I know not the lovely Julia, my partner. And I know a lot of people are dissatisfied with where we are and what's going on. And we're looking to get back to the land, to get back outside, to get away from the artificial LED lighting that's all on strange frequencies, to get away from the electrical magnetic frequencies which are dumbing us down and causing us illness, to get outside and breathe and grow and basically to have a great life, to thrive once more. And I urge people really to think about where we are and what you're doing in this life. Where is the outrage? Where is the disgruntlement with what's been happened to us? Are you just still happy to sit there and go, oh, well, yeah, it is a bit bad, isn't it? But, you know, what can you do? I don't know. What can you do? Maybe deep inside of you there is still that light of humanity, in which if you turn off the television, if you turn off watching what the politicians want to do, if you turn off listening to the people banging on the door trying to extort money from you, maybe deep inside there is that urge to get back to some sensibility, some life, some thriving, some being with your partner, some pushing away the blooming clock that dictates our life, moving away from that corporatization of the countries that we once loved. Maybe there is still enough of the flame of life to get out and be outraged and say, do you know what? I'm not putting up with this anymore.